And the other part of that, it had the microphone. So apologies, I'm just going to have to try and set it again. Can you hear me? So it'd be lovely to know if someone can hear me and without the double echo. Looks like I'm getting it right. Let's see. So, hi. The vagaries of a laptop. So I am cross-posting to Roz Boundy, to the mytimetv.live and the Hypnosis Plus with Roz pages. So if you're on those pages, you will need to click the link that's up the top in the description and take that on. Yes, good. Thanks, Joe. Because that's where on the Roz Boundy page, I'll see your comments to bring up like that. So I can say, hi, how are you? And it's great to see you, Joe. And whoever else might decide to come on in the interactive page. You can still watch on the mytimetv.live and the Hypnosis Plus with Roz, but I don't get to see your comments whilst they're actually live. So the other thing that I've got is obviously I think the B.Live has come up with a slightly improved version since yesterday morning, and I can actually see at pretty much a glance how these things work. It's actually got screen, agenda and branding written underneath the little icons this time, so they have made some improvements. I can also see at a glance that I'm on my Roz Boundy page with this stream, so I know I'm in the right place. So thank you. I'm going to just go like this and hide that, and that's my website for the bookings. I'll just leave that on for a moment. I am just going to go over into the mytimetv.live Facebook page, purely because I just want to make sure that it is happening properly, and I think Facebook's done something different, so I'm closing it off. Just the B.Live at the moment. Okay, we're going to actually do the card reading. It is the 5-card spread, and I'll switch it round to that visual now that I've got the webcam working properly. So I've got the cards that I'm using are these. As usual, I've been using these for over the year now with this spread. So I love it, and we'll get into it. I'm just assuming that maybe some of you who have been here along this journey with me for a while are getting to know what the positions of the cards are and can almost read for yourself what these mean for you, which is what my whole aim is for you to be able to get your own guidance with any tool that you're using, whether it be these cards or whether it's other cards or some other form of tool. What we've got is the work energy here. We've got the home energy up in that position. At the top here, we've got unexpected. Here we have your role, and here we have the outcome. Now, hi Karen, how are you? It's a beautiful morning outside here this morning, not as cold as it has been. I didn't notice any frost, put it that way. And I haven't really had to put the heater on yet, even though it is fairly cool. Now, I'm just trying to gather myself a bit this morning because I did have a few thoughts back when I saw this as far as my own personal past history goes. grieving is one thing that doesn't seem to have a timeline. And as I was reading through, just flipping through a couple of the posts this morning, my daughters took me back to a time that was very sad. Well, even more than that. But anyway, I don't, sometimes the grief will only work through when it's revisited at the odd occasions, and that just happened to work out this morning. So there you go. Good morning, Nikki. Great to see you here too. I've been a bit distracted this week, have you? Yeah. I'm pleased that you could catch me live. Distractions are the reminders, I think, that either we are procrastinating about something we need to decide, or they are showing us different ways and alternatives, the distractions themselves. But don't get lost in them if you're meant to be doing something else. Good morning here as well. Take your time. Got it all morning. If only I had all morning. At the moment, I have got a little bit of a restriction in the data that I have here available at the shack, because I'm not in my usual home space. I'm not at my Mac, and unlimited data, which I thoroughly enjoy, and the speed of it and reliability of it. Here it's a little bit on the more iffy side with the live stream itself. It can get very unreliable. And hi to you too, Shaz. How are you? Hope you're keeping warm in your hoodie. Yeah, so it can be that sort of a it can be that sort of a hit and miss with the data hit with the actual live stream itself. At the moment, I've got good bars, then it chops down to 1 and it might cut out. It almost feels like that. Sometimes too, you feel, and I'm looking at this cross, it feels like you're cruising along and then something will hit you like pretty much. A train comes to mind because that was the memory. Apologies if I have some hesitation. That's just and I don't know why sometimes the memories of loss come back at the oddest times. So the cross we're carrying, well, what are we carrying? In the business sense, there's probably, in some cases you think of it as being death, which reinforces the grief. At times it can just mean that you're needing to actually pass something back on to the owner who needs to be carrying their own cross. We don't need to take and pick up the responsibility for others. We allow that for them to learn their own lessons, and that does include even at the workplace, even at the business space, that at times we do need to just let that drop and hand it back, almost like not so much passing the baton, but giving it back to the person who it belongs to. So that choose is harder than I thought this morning for some reason. Anyway, so we'll move on to the lilies, which is again reminders of peace. Peace is within and around us, and the times of reflection. Going back to things that are beautiful and what is part of our past. So I think for me today, it's probably a bit of one of those days where it's time for some reflection, just to keep moving the love along. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Sharon. I will keep going. And thanks. And here we go. After this, give yourself some time, or will be, don't worry. But even it's still something that to experience the emotions means that we have lived a life that has much love, that has disappointments, that has frustrations, that has joy and happiness, and all the realm of what we can experience. It's why we're here, to actually live a full life in all those realms of what emotions will show us, will allow us to be in all its facets, in all its reflections back to us, in what we can learn from that. And the experiences of just being family. And I think really the birch and broom, the whip, the birch broom and the whip in the unexpected. Well, it was unexpected what I felt this morning. Partly dreams, partly reminder from some comments from daughters in Facebook. And, you know, the realm of what we experience, it is a cleansing time. It is also time to move on with some of that aspect of what life is. Everything has its time and place and space, is what the whip and the birch broom are relating to, I feel. My role in the day, it looks like, yes, it is giving that younger self a bit of space, treating myself gently. That's just such a nice, pensive look. It really is that, going deep within and just enjoying that time. I'm feeling that experience. Well, it's not a re-experience. It's actually acknowledging how much love there actually is in our lives that we don't always remember and recognise. Even with those times that we sometimes feel are the pits, it's still, there's the rose representing love, and allowing that to continue to move and flow within. So what that might mean for you too, it is a Sunday. We used to, you know, in the years gone by when my parents were still around and we were kids, it would be church twice on Sundays because Dad was a lay preacher, and we sometimes did that travel around our little parish on the York Peninsula. I remember going to church services twice, and the fun with the other kids and the interaction as a second family. Well, it was part of the bigger family of who we were in those years, and still being able to communicate and share time with people as we move along. On Sundays was the sacred day, and it is. Take care. Thank you, Tonya, for that. Even though we're in a online community, it can still feel like that too. Thank you for what love and hearts that you're sharing with me this morning, as I feel that crunch of the heart at times. It is something that is still tangible, being able to share what is almost something that you're feeling you can't touch, but it is. It touches the heart. It's heart to heart. And look, what would life be without love? If we're not love, what are we? And that, I think, really does come down to that, the basis of what life is. We're love. We're in love. We are love. That is the completeness of the being, is love. And when we feel that we haven't got it, that's fear. It's the two biggest emotions in our lives. Fear of missing out, fear of lack, all of that. And yet really, if we do live in our truest sense, we have everything we need, and including the love of those around us. We just need to see it and acknowledge it, and be able to give as well as receive. It's all of that completeness. And I'm feeling that in the outcome for this here, that the message of what letter is bringing us as that outcome, it's, I don't know, it almost feels like it is that love letter. That's something really special. And for me right now, it's actually feeling like that is the one that is written to self, going back to that inner sense, that inner essence of who we are, and loving that fullness of self. And not in the selfish way, but knowing and acknowledging that we have written our own story, that we have joined in as the parts of other people's lives too, where we've contributed with that loving self. even with that frustrated and all the other things that we've been for others, it still is with that purpose of growing and learning, and even into, more fullness of that love that we have, that love that we continue to grow, because I really do believe that's what we're here for in the sense of this experience in this lifetime. So I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to go and be a bit nurturing of self. And I hope too that you can spend that time with yourself as well, in that, taking some time to it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time, but that self-meditation, that space where you can sit quietly just to feel within that love and joy for self, and reflecting on where you've come from your past, your experiences to where you are now, and being fully present in this right now, so you can continue to grow further and further in your journey, and that it be in love as you're moving into and deciding what you are choosing for yourself in that experience. Thank you for being here this morning with me, and being the best person that you can be in Namaste. Bye for now.